think, man, I would love a Chanel bag one day. We see brands like Dior who are currently being investigated. The video was taken down due to copyright issues raised by Tamara Kalanick. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jess. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I'm almost at 15,000 subs. That would be awesome if I could hit that goal. I wanted to discuss today whether you guys really think that in 2024, designer bags are worth buying anymore. And what made me really think about this deeper this week was I was featured in Stephanie Lang's video, and she is a really massive YouTuber who usually talks about how celebrities have had plastic surgery and dissecting, I guess, beauty norms and all that. And I have watched her channel many times before, but I actually noticed that she took a bit of my video and put it at the start of one of her videos called Designer Bags Are for Broke Girls. And oh my gosh guys, I was so excited I was in her video because she has like 1 million subscribers, guys, so it's actually a big deal for me. And luckily she did, you can see down in the very corner it says Jessie Star, so I don't know if it got me that many more subscribers, to be honest, but anyways, loved it. But the video was about designer bags being for broke girls, so it made me really look at the video, I suppose, and take in what she was saying. Of course, there has been a lot of people on the internet talking about, you know, how designer brands are not the best investment. They're for people who are poor and aspire to have these things, but real rich people get given these things for free. Wealth whispers. What is it? What is that expression, guys? Money talks, wealth whispers. That's what I was trying to say. Money talks, wealth whispers. And obviously the more that you spend on designer bags, the poorer you're going to be in your bank account. So true wealthy people, they know how to use their money to work for them, whether they're investing in property, stocks, their own businesses, and they're not necessarily lashing out on designer goods. In fact, they may be getting those things for free. Like, for example, Billie Eilish may be paid by Gucci to wear Gucci. Jennie from Blackpink probably was paid to wear Chanel, all that. So actually, designer brands are for poor people, which, yeah, I understand the point of like what that means. I really enjoyed Stephanie Lang's video. Unfortunately, when I went to watch it again, because I really wanted to go over some of the points that she expressed in that video, the video was taken down due to copyright issues raised by Tamara Kalanick. So yes, that could be the problem sometimes, I think, with inserting other creators' content in your content, because you might get your video taken down if someone complains, which I think is a shame, because I do honestly, I like it when other people mention me in videos. I don't take offense to it, but I can see how that may portray Tamara Kalanick in a negative manner, because as an influencer, people aspire to be like her, and she has a lot of brand deals and she gets given a lot of things for free. So maybe this made her look like, you know, you guys are all getting sucked into what Tamara says and you are all fools for like buying designer bags. I just wanted to discuss today, guys, what is actually the benefit of buying designer bags? Because I have been suckered into buying designer bags for years. Now, even though these designer brands seem like they're struggling at the moment compared to the previous years, you know, you see Chanel changing, Virginie Viard is going, they're going to change direction. It said that Celine Eddie is going to go, and then Celerot have dropped their prices. We have Gucci not profiting as much anymore. Hermes is still on top. Louis Vuitton is still on the top. But it is said that even Louis Vuitton is not making as many sales as they were in the past, so they're not growing as much as they anticipated. I still think that designer brands will survive through this storm at the moment, because they are brainwashing young kids all the time with their marketing. And how is this so? Well, I mean, look at the Barbie movie, guys. Chanel is featured quite often in that movie, and you see like subtle Chanel branding throughout that movie. And you know, as a young girl watching the Barbie movie, I might grow up and think, man, I would love a Chanel bag one day. And why did I have that thought? Well, because it was embedded into my brain from a young age. If you even think of the Lego movie, which is going to come out soon, I just watched the trailer. I don't know if you guys have watched it, but it's actually, the story is actually about Pharrell, which is so random, but it's about Pharrell's music career and Pharrell as a celebrity, how he's so unique and I have not seen this movie yet because I think it's going to come out around Christmas, but Pharrell as a celebrity has become super influential, and he, of course, is the creative director of Louis Vuitton Men. So I think as a young person watching the Lego movie and then seeing Pharrell and then hearing about his fashion career as well, one may grow up and think, wow, Louis Vuitton is amazing. I mean, Pharrell was a designer there, so I want to buy a Louis Vuitton bag. And I think these brands will continue to be iconic and lusted after just because of the way that they market themselves and implement themselves into pop culture and celebrity, and they will always be aspirational despite the quality and despite people saying that it's a waste of money. They will always be desirable. From a young age, I was into fashion. Then also I have collector's tendencies. So from a young age as well, I was collecting toys, and even I collected gemstones when I was quite young, stamps. I don't know, it's just in my nature. So the aspect of collecting handbags really appealed to me because I feel like I was collecting things that were quite valuable, that could go up in value, and that I could even sell on for later, sometimes for more money, which I know is not always necessarily the case for sure. I have sold bags and then made money on them, but I most certainly have sold bags and lost thousands of dollars over the years. So of course, designer bags are not necessarily an investment, but they do have that collector's appeal. And I think a part of me likes making a collection of something and then seeing it together and being like, wow, that looks so cool. I don't know why that is, whether I grew up in an age where collecting Pokemon cards and Millennium Bugs and Beanie Kids were cool. That's something that I still haven't grown out of at the age of 33 years old. And I don't know if I'll ever grow out of that, guys. So a lot of the appeal of buying designer bags to me is the collectability aspect, and then always striving to add more to the collection and to dream. And I would say a large part of it for me is escapism, because it really helps shift my focus off stressful things in my life. At what point does that escape become really not worth it? Because yes, you can collect stamps, yes, you can collect cheaper things, but bags are thousands of dollars, and should I have been spending my money on other things in my life instead? Well, and Cara Nicole made a video about, I think it was quite a while ago, but that one also went really viral. It has like 1 million views. And she spoke about how investing into stocks like a low risk index fund, I think it was, how if you invest, for example, $3,000 into that, over 10 years, that could grow into $10,000. Comparing to if you invest into a handbag that costs $3,000 over the next 10 years, if you were to sell it, you'd probably be lucky to get your money back on that bag. So actually investing your money, your excess money into stocks is a much smarter financial investment for your future. So does that mean that if you are a collector, you shouldn't really indulge into designer bags? Because it's one thing to buy one designer bag for $3,000, that in your whole lifespan, I mean, sure, you could have gained $7,000 if you invested it into a stock or whatever, but over 10 years, do you really care that much? But if you're doing that with like 10 bags, that could have been a significant amount of money that you could have had extra in 10 years. Is that worth it? Well, honestly, guys, I enjoy my life with designer bags. And why is it that I enjoy the designer bag aspect of it? Because why can't I just have like a cheap bag? Why can't I just have like a $20 bag from Kmart or from TK Maxx? Why does it have to be a designer bag? And I mentioned this in the video where I spoke about how I sold my logo bags, and this is the clip that actually Stephanie Lang took. And I mentioned how I don't know why it is that designer bags make me feel fancier than like a non-designer bag. And I don't know whether it's like a part of me trying to show off to people that I have a designer bag. I'm honestly just reflecting on myself. I'm like, why do I want to wear a designer bag as opposed to a non-designer bag? What is it about the designer bag aspect that makes me feel like it's warranted to spend thousands of dollars on it? And I would say a part of it is, yes, the quality is better, but not always. Like, I would say for Hermes bags, I find them the best quality. But does it really warrant the hefty price tag? Would I say a Birkin is worth $20,000? Not really, but I still buy it. Is it that much better than buying a Coach bag? I don't know. Yeah, I would say I am brainwashed by just what everyone else is saying as well. I think there is a huge part of us that wants to be a part of a club or a community, and I've seen people online collect Hermes bags and I've aspired to it, and I thought it was so cool, and wow, it'd be so awesome to have a collection like that, and a part of me did get suckered into that. And I think that's why I prefer to buy designer brands over non-designer brands, because there is a lot more hype around them. And, you know, people are striving to get them. People are spending thousands of dollars, so it must be worth the hype, right? And I realized that I was very much suckered into hype when I started collecting Pop Mart toys, because there's this really ugly toy called Labubu, and this monster charm is super hard to get, right? I've been waiting for weeks to try and score this Labubu charm, but you had to sign up to a draw to be able to have the opportunity to buy it. And when I went to sign up to go into like the lottery to win it, the opportunity to buy it, the website crashed, and then they restocked on the website at a certain time of the day, and I still could not check out to get it. It was just so hard to get. I was like probably competing against robots and all that sort of thing as well. But it made me want to buy the monster toy more, because I'm like, okay, this is really hard to get, so it must be worth it. And then when I go on eBay, I see there are like ones selling for over retail, triple the retail, and there's also so many fakes of them. So there's so much hype surrounded by this Labubu toy, which made me want to buy it even more. And although it's only like $30, I can compare the feeling of me wanting that Labubu toy to a Birkin, because if I look at a Birkin 25, I think, wow, that is like the pinnacle of bags. Like, that is so amazing to have one. And when I got my Birkin 30, I was, I had my honeymoon phase with it. I thought, wow, this is so beautiful. But, it was short-lived, and I wanted to buy the next bag. And there is that aspect as well to buying anything that becomes addictive, and it never really feels like enough, and it never really feels like you're fully satisfied. But does that mean you shouldn't indulge in it? Life is not easy, guys, and having like silly little outlets like buying things and it's not harming anyone, is that really that bad a thing? I think it can be a bad thing if you get too addicted to it, if you're spending absolutely all your money on designer bags and you have nothing left over for it and you still feel sad. I think it is worth stepping back and thinking about what else you could do to get yourself out of that, because the problem with buying designer bags is that it is really addictive. I think a lot of us are really questioning whether these designer bags are worth buying, particularly when we see brands like Dior who are currently being investigated for the way that they manufacture their bags and how they treat their workers, allegedly. And how manufacturing a Dior bag is actually only 50 euros when we go to Dior and pay, $9,000 for a Lady Dior. Is the feeling that we get from that Dior bag really warrant the price tag that we pay? Well, I guess we are paying for a dream, guys. And if it makes you feel special every day, I think that is actually priceless. But I think that luxury fantasy is becoming less of a fantasy lately, because we are questioning these brands more, and there is too much luxury out there for it to be special at this point. I think with the rise of super fakes, and then also with just designer bags being very easy to get, and then also the downfall of brands like Gucci, Bottega's not doing as well, and many other brands who are not profiting as much as they were last year. We can see that a lot of people are not finding these brands as appealing as they were a few years ago. And the trend towards buying luxury perhaps has started to fizzle a little bit. So you see that in matches fashion as well, going into administration. Other designer brands like Dion Lee going into administration. People are less likely wanting to spend thousands of dollars on things like they used to, because they don't see the value in it as much as maybe a few years ago. The fantasy is starting to fade a little bit. So I would say for me, do I still want to buy handbags? Absolutely, I do. But it's definitely something that I consider slowly, and I definitely question myself how I'm feeling that day, if it's an impulse buy. This year I've only bought a Fendi bag, but I do want to buy maybe another Hermes bag. I'm just really reflecting on myself, and definitely I think these videos like the one that Stephanie Lang did and Cara Nicole are making people question the value of designer bags? Is it something that we should boycott altogether, buying designer bags? As much as these other YouTubers are saying, you know, people are poor and now, and you know, you're poor because you bought designer bags, it's just not necessarily the case, guys. There's many people who buy designer bags and can make a business out of it, or fake it till you make it even. You know, people who buy designer bags and then they look fancy and then they get other opportunities or whatever. I mean, even I would say in my case, I made a whole YouTube channel out of it, which does earn me money. So that in a way was good. If I stopped buying designer bags now and continued to make YouTube, well, maybe I could make more money than what my designer bags are worth. So in that case, it could have been a minor investment. But I think for the average person, yeah, designer bags, are they investment? No. But can we enjoy them with moderation? I think we can, and we shouldn't have to be made to feel guilty or that we're stupid or poor for doing so. So anyways, that's just my opinion about that. Let me know your thoughts. And yeah, did you watch Stephanie Lang's video? I'm kind of bummed that it got taken down because I had my 5 seconds of fame, but oh well. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys on my next video. Bye!